It's really been on my mind lately a lot how much people apologize just for existing. We turn a corner and almost run into somebody or do bump into somebody and we say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," or "I'm sorry," right? And it's like both people have the right to that space. Both people are just living their life. Neither of them intentionally tried to hurt the other. And so can we get into the practice to raise the vibration of this earth to just say, "Excuse me," or "Pardon me," or "Are you all right?" instead of taking on the air of what that sorry seems to bring of shame, like I'm a bad person or I've done a bad thing, um, or guilt, right? Like that or the shame of like there's something wrong with me for having turned the corner without knowing that other person was there and run into you. And really, you haven't done a bad thing or are a bad person because you didn't know the other person was there and you were just living. So like this idea that, I'm sorry for being late, like it is important to respect other people's time. And instead of saying, "I'm sorry," this challenge that's out there to replace "I'm sorry" with "thank you," like "thank you for waiting," is so much more empowering and creates connection with the other person instead of adding on more disconnect to the fact that you were late. So, I just would like to inspire people to start saying thank you instead of sorry, right? What if just for a week you tried replacing every time you said sorry, you rephrased it right after and said it in some kind of way of saying thank you. Um, I'm sorry I didn't realize you wanted me to do that thing, right? Like, thank you for letting me know directly or letting me know clearly, or thank you for letting me know that you wanted me to do that thing. Just having more self-compassion that right that concept of like we can only do better once we know better. Like anytime we say sorry, it's like acknowledging, if we're really sorry, it's acknowledging that we wish we would have done something better. So instead, we can thank that person or that experience for bringing it to our awareness and then amend our behavior so that we don't continue, so that we then move forward in being a different type of person. So maybe now we turn the corner with more awareness, right? Maybe now we work on our punctuality as a way to amend our behavior. And if we decide that that's something that hardly holds value to us, then why are we apologizing for being our authentic self, right? If we have no desire to change our how punctual we are, if we plan on being a late person regularly, then stop saying sorry for being your authentic self and just say, usually I run late, so plan accordingly in the future, right? Like be realistic. And so if there is something to really apologize for, if there really is something to say I'm sorry for, then it must be followed with an amendment of our habits, right? Changing a behavioral change to then uphold that apology as being something sincere. And if we have a desire to change and we say sorry and we keep continuing to do the other thing, then that's when we need to ask for help, right? Then we need to ask for help on how can I change this? Because left to my own devices, it seems like I'm stuck in a habitual loop and I need some support on how to do the healthier action that's going to support the person that I want to be versus just habitually repeating something that I then feel shame about and I'm apologizing for. And because every time we go like, "I'm sorry," right, we're acknowledging that there was something wrong. So is it wrong with us? Is it wrong like internally? So is it shameful, like what we're apologizing for? Is something wrong with what we're doing? So then we feel guilt and we're apologizing for that. Or is there really nothing wrong, and we're just saying I'm sorry because it's become a habit in our culture to just apologize for existing, apologize for taking up space, apologize for colliding with someone else on this planet, because we're so used to like having to have our space bubble protected, that when somebody enters in a form of connection unexpectedly, we feel like it's something we need to apologize for taking up their space. Is it that? And is this video perfectly said? No. Is it valuable? I think so. I think there is something to replacing sorry with thank you, replacing sorry with excuse me, and replacing sorry with behavioral changes to amend the things that we are truly sorry for. So I thought this was important to share, and I hope that it helps someone with their mindset today. Let me know what you think.